Hey, Guy 45 here, sitting in the woods. Gonna chat at you a little bit. This is where we keep the Harleys, parked over here in the trees. You never know when you're gonna need to run down a gopher, some kind of groundhog, fox, skunk, possum, never know. They come in handy for that. Thought I'd start out by explaining the Harley. You saw me on this in the recent FAQ, didn't you? Buzzing up the road, talking to you about loaner guns, and wondering what the heck. Didn't know I had a Harley and that I was a biker. Well, I guess I should come clean. I'm a former member of Hell's Angels. And, you know, I wasn't going to let that out, but I was a member for 15 years. Just kidding, you knew that. Actually, John owns this Harley. Got his license and certification a couple months ago and bought a Harley. Pretty cool, huh? Well, for my birthday, he bought me this tuition to the same course. It's learntoride.org in Nashville. They do a great job. Dwayne, his wife, teach that course. He was the instructor for both John's course and mine. We learned a lot, hopefully, because you know, if you're a rider, how careful you have to be. So we both have been through the course this summer. John's been riding a great deal. He rides it everywhere he goes. I've been riding it when I get a chance, and it's a lot of fun. It really is. I've always tried to stay away from these things for the most part, but gonna have to maybe have one. I tell you, on my own. I'm just thinking about it, looking around, doing a little shopping, deciding which bike, whether it's a Harley or a Victory, you know what. I like these things, so I'm kind of looking into them myself. Something like what John has here, maybe with a foot pad or a small windshield, not sure, but about the same configuration, maybe a few more niceties, not sure. But they're a lot of fun, just have to be really careful, don't you? So John drove it over here and I'm just sitting on it, so that's why I don't have my helmet on, but I am prepared, as you can tell, you know, because you know, on a motorcycle, you know, it helps to have things handy. But anyway, that's the mystery of the motorcycle, the Harley that you saw. It does belong, or it does appear at the compound. It's here quite often, and John has to let me ride it because I'm begging for the keys, you know, when he comes over and we ride around a little bit. Not much on the farm though. It's not exactly a dirt bike, is it? It's more or less a road bike. But they're quite a lot of fun. And some of you have them. We saw that in the comments, and you know all about them. You pegged this thing as the Dyna Street Bob. You knew what it was, and pretty observant of you to notice that quickly. So I'm learning to ride. I'm not a pro, as you could tell probably from the FAQ. I'm just now getting out on the road and running around the roads, the county roads, and feeling pretty comfortable with it and with the bike and everything. Big bike, you know. This is a little bit different from my bicycles, my mountain bike and my road bike. Like about 800 pounds different or something. Well, anyway, a lot of fun. I'm kind of looking around. Maybe start out with a used bike. I don't know. Just don't know yet. But it's so tempting because in my pocket is my license, and I can ride. You know, I am legal, so it's just a matter of having a bike. But anyway, enjoy seeing me now with all my arms and legs, my head and everything all in one piece. So what else do we want to talk about besides motorcycles? The gathering. Everybody that showed up in our little YouTube gathering we had a couple of weeks ago was a lot of fun, and I guess I've commented on that enough. But just a word or two about that. That was really cool, having Plinkster, 22 Plinkster, and 10 Outdoors 9, Fate of Destiny, and Sturmgewehr down. As I've said already, it was kind of random. I've known Tennessee Outdoors 9, 10 Outdoors 9 for about 30 years, and I've known Plinkster since long before either one of us started doing YouTube videos, because they're not all that far away from me. And I guess we met, well, I was looking at one of Sturmgewehr's videos, looking up some military rifle, and met him. I was impressed with his work and got to know him. Met him at the NRA convention. The same with Fate of Destiny. They were traveling through the South, and you know, we met them. I think John knew her, and she came by last summer. So, but anyway, we just had the opportunity to do a little something there since they were all in the neighborhood, so thought we would. Nobody was excluded. It wasn't some grand plan. It's kind of funny. Man, you should have had so and so, or you should have had so and so. Why didn't you invite so and so? It was just kind of an impromptu thing. We don't really have time, or the logistics for that kind of thing just don't work out very often, believe me, at all. I hope we could do something like that again, but it's just really difficult. Everybody's busy, everybody's doing their own thing. It's hard enough for us to get done what we are trying to get done, and everybody else too. So when that situation like that presents itself, I thought, well, let's do that. Let's just kind of sit around and chat with folks. I thought it went really well. In fact, it seemed very relaxed to me. It could have been even more relaxed, and we kind of talked about a little bit of a structure to it, and I don't think it even needed that structure as it turned out. Everybody behaved, and it went pretty well. So I don't know, we may do something like that again. I don't know. Again, it's just kind of a random to some extent, but fun. Nobody was meant to be excluded. There's lots of people I'd love to meet that do YouTube videos or are in the shooting world, that hopefully I'll get a chance to meet sometime somewhere. No one I'm desperate to meet, but it's just cool to meet people that have a similar interest, no doubt about that. So that's kind of fun, and we keep up with each other. There's a lot of people on YouTube that do a great job. There really are. Just a lot of people that do good videos, worthwhile videos. There are people just starting out. There are people who've been doing it a while, and there are people who might have, I don't know, like 75% of their videos are really good. Maybe some of them are not so great. I don't know. Maybe they don't mean for them to be great. They're just kind of having fun with stuff. We do that. We have just fun with stuff like this right here. You don't learn a whole lot about shooting watching me sit on a motorcycle in the woods, gabbing at you. But everybody does a variety of things pretty much, and there's some good stuff going on out there. And then we all know about the stupid stuff, but we stay away from that pretty much, and just do our own thing. But just want to say a word about that. That was fun. It was neat having everybody here. Hard to do it. Hard to pull something like that together, but it was fun the day we did that. Did some shooting. Had a great time. Pizza, all that. No beer, just pizza, soft drinks, water, a lot of water. It was a hot day. It's been hot almost every day this summer. Speaking of that, people are always making comments about my shirts being wet. They're sweaty, like it's from some other planet or something. That's funny, really. But I guess if you live in, I don't know, northern Michigan or New York, Maine, Iceland, I don't know, Switzerland, that might be kind of strange to you. But in this part of the country, John and I, since he was this tall, I wanted him to be an outside guy. He was never someone who hung out in the house playing video games or watching TV. I've been fortunate most of the summers he's been alive. We've spent 3 months together, and I've had plenty of opportunity to ruin him. 3 months at least continuously. And so we've just been outside in the summer mostly, just hanging out, shooting, hiking, a lot of hiking, walking the dogs and just doing things like that. So we're just used to being wet. And I guess I might perspire, sweat, more than some people, but it's not because I'm guzzling beer. I just sweat a lot. And I think that's a reason that I don't get really overheated. I don't, you might see me at the shooting table in a video and maybe it looks miserable to you, or I look miserable. I probably look miserable to a lot of people, right? Have a miserable look about me. But if my shirt is almost soaked and sweat maybe dripping off my nose as we're talking about a gun, but really I think people who perspire a lot stay cooler. That's one of the body's mechanisms, I believe, if I recall biology class, for keeping us cool. So I'm really not, other than just being wet. It's just because we're outside. Now when I go and get a shower in the afternoon or evening, I don't want to come back out. That's the way I am. I get my shower and cleaned up and feel good. I don't even want to go out to the car and get sweaty again before I go to bed. That's the way I am. But up until then, man, I'm outside and sweaty. Who cares, because otherwise, what do you do? Camp out in the house? Stay in the house? Can't learn to shoot if you're going to stay in the house, unless you got a big house, right? Some big berms in your living room. So anyway, I was just reminded of that. My ADD kicks in and I kind of wander off and start talking about something else, like that little beetle crawling on the leaf up there on that tree. What else are we going to talk about? Mainly wanted to talk about that and identify the motorcycle, and then thank you guys for everything you do. You know, one of the topics, of course, of speaking of the motorcycle and FAQ video is the loaner guns, and we, as I mentioned briefly in that FAQ, we try to keep the FAQs brief so people can just scroll through there and see the title and you know, learn something without having to listen to me for 10 minutes. But that really is a benefit that we didn't even figure on. You know, the first year or two, we didn't borrow guns, and you know, and we still could do it without borrowing guns, but people kept offering them and said, well, okay, this guy seems like a great guy, he lives over here in the next county, why not, you know. We're not going to hurt him other than just normal wear, you know, so if we do, we'll pay for it or fix it, you know, that sort of thing. So just I wouldn't want to borrow some heirloom that belonged to your great granddaddy who fought in the Civil War with it or anything, but you know, by and large, if it's a reasonable offer, you know, we at least entertain that offer. And what I was getting at is it does bring another element to the channel. It helps us, but it helps you all, I think, you know, see another firearm. We've got a couple we'll be posting here, 2 or 3 haven't been posted yet, are guns that we borrowed that were guns I probably would not have bought. I know a couple of them I would never buy, but they're interesting firearms. You know, it's not because they're not interesting to me I wouldn't buy them. It's just lots of things are interesting, but I can't own every firearm out there, and I don't really have a desire to. But I find that quite a few firearms, if they were used in any great number somewhere, whether it's Switzerland, you know, or in this country, or just anywhere, Germany, they're interesting. There's some Russian guns I don't have, but they're just interesting. You know, we got a CZ52 video coming up, and just some things like that hopefully you'll enjoy seeing those firearms. I'm not the end-all expert on a lot of these, but I can research them and learn enough about it and shoot them and give you my impressions of them, and you know, enough to where you'll, I think, take something away from the video about that firearm that you didn't know, that you'll learn something from it, okay, and maybe enjoy seeing it fired, and get my impressions of it and that kind of thing. If you want to study it further, you can go read a few chapters from somebody's book on that firearm, okay. But anyway, it does help us, and we appreciate that. It helps you all bring something else to the table for you, so it's kind of nice. We're kind of careful about that, but you know, as I said in the FAQ video, we're not getting into the shipping thing yet. And that's another thing. It's just amazing. I have had a lot of people offer to ship a firearm to us and pay the shipping and pay the shipping back, you know. And you know, wow, you know, that's just, you know, you are so generous and willing to help that again, it almost embarrasses us that we have people that loyal to the channel, and you know, we don't thank you enough, really. We're about making videos and about making shooting videos primarily, when we're not sitting on motorcycles and yakking. You know, that's kind of what we do, and we focus on that primarily. When John and I talk about what we want to do, it's which guns and what we want to do with them, and what might make the video a little more interesting than it could be. You know, how much we want to shoot it, what we want to do, and then we'll just get some ideas and we'll just take off, turn on the camera, mainly into shooting videos. That's what we do, and stay away from all the stupid stuff. Well, you might think some of our shooting videos are stupid stuff. We have a little fun sometimes, don't we? What else going on? Haven't done a radio show for a few weeks. Need to get the microphone back out and do that, don't I? And I'll catch up on some things. Maybe haven't talked about them, but we've been having a good summer. I'm about to get back into the classroom, and we'll still be doing videos, but I'm about to, one of my favorite things on the planet to do. I may have mentioned this before. Other than shooting, I guess in the top 5. Shooting's got to be in the top 5, right? Of my favorite things to do. But something else that's in the top 5 is tormenting teenagers. You know, teaching. I mean, a classroom full of teenagers. You got a captive audience, and they have to listen to you. I mean, they have to do what you say, pretty much. You know. Oh man, they got to listen to you. They have to. They have to listen to your lame jokes, your lame humor, suffer pop quizzes. I mean, and to see the torment on their face when you hand a pop quiz out, I mean, it's wonderful. You know, I'm sorry that all of you don't have that experience. You don't get the opportunity to experience that, because I miss it in the summer. I really do. I don't know, man, I don't know when the last time I picked on a teenager was, really. You know, I have to watch myself. I might be walking around the mall, if I were someone who went to malls, and just start picking on some kid, because I've gone for like almost 3 months now without picking on a teenager, you know, throwing lame humor at them or being mean to them, you know. So I'm looking forward to having another captive audience here in about a week, so that'll be fun. But anyway, I digress. Had a good summer. I think we've done some good videos this summer. I look forward to the fall when it cools off a little bit, and there's nothing like the fall. It's my favorite time of the year. The leaves start turning. You guys comment pretty often about how it's interesting to watch the compound change, you know, the foliage, and you know, especially you folks that have just found us, and there's a lot of you that just find us, of course, every day. As you go through the videos, the backlog of videos, and you'd better be doing that. 667 now. That's your homework. But it must really be interesting to bounce around back there. Oh, here's a 45-70 guide gun, huh? Wow, snow everywhere, you know. Then you bounce to a CZ75 or something in its spring, or something else in its summer, and something else in its fall. Maybe the targets are a different color, and so it's probably more obvious to you as you're bouncing around through the videos. I guess one way to do it, if you really wanted to catch up with us and feel like you know us, you're getting some insight into the Hickok 45 brain, is to start back at the old Buffalo shoot or Colt 45, whatever it's called, the very first video, and just kind of work your way forward. I mean, after all, it'll only take you about 6 months of continuous watching, probably. We ought to figure out, someone do that. Someone who doesn't have a life, go back through all the videos, calculate how many minutes there are out of the first 667 videos. John, won't you do that in your spare time? But anyway, it is interesting how things change at the compound, and we're looking forward to the fall. But we don't mind the heat. Don't mind the heat. We try to do a couple of videos every week, not because we feel obligated. It's just we've got this thing going. We enjoy doing it. I know you expect to see a video every week or two every week, and sometimes we throw out even more than that. It just depends on what we're doing. We have the firearms. We have the time. We definitely love doing it, and no one has to twist my arm to get me to shoot. So we'll continue. You guys have, again, you've been very receptive, and the other thing we appreciate is the fact you like the style of video we do, and that's another reason that we are able to continue it. It's not a big chore for us. We don't think, okay, what are we going to do? How are we going to put this thing together? And edit this, and spend 2 weeks trying to get a good video together. The fact that you seem to enjoy, at least quite a few people, seem to enjoy the way we do things, by and large. I know everybody does. You can't please everybody, can you, all the time? You can't please anybody all the time. But the fact that you kind of like the real or the raw aspect of it, mistakes and all, and I try to clean those up in the description or annotate them, but don't make too many. Don't leave something out occasionally or say something dumb. For example, I was watching, we've got another Swiss rifle straight pull bolt design we'll be posting for too much longer. I was looking at that the other day, and I noticed every time I mentioned the straight pull bolt, I just called it the straight bolt. The straight bolt, I think, is what I was saying. I think the last time I said it, I said straight pull. Yeah, so things like that. But you guys are forgiving, and you understand the camera runs for 15-20 minutes, and that even I, superior intelligence that I do have, right? Yeah, right. Can make mistakes, and so that makes it much more doable, and it makes it way more enjoyable for me. Just like this, sitting here, I don't have any notes, you know, other than what's inside my eyelids, but you know, about what I'm going to talk about. So you accept imperfection, and most of you seem to enjoy imperfection, but you get lots of imperfection. So anyway, thanks again for all the support, and we'll be posting some more goofy videos with bang bang. Oh, that reminds me, with bang bang bang. Let's end this with a little bang bang bang. John's getting nervous right now. Don't shoot my motorcycle. Keep your finger off the trigger. Alright. Nice. Nothing like some 45 ACP in the dirt, huh? I think I'll take this holster and this gun up to the Harley shop and see maybe if Harley would like to maybe offer something like this for, they got everything at the Harley Davidson the shops. That might be pretty good. A little Harley on the holster, Harley on the grip there. Of course, they might have to talk to Glock before they do that. But anyway, I'll shut up, quit being silly. Life is good.